Welcome to Yvonne's Crafty Corner. I had made this journal last year with my daughter and a challenge that we had done to see if we could get a journal made and how long it would take. This was made out of a tissue box, this one, and I did have a request for a tutorial on it. I'm not going to be able to do exactly the same because I don't have the same tissue box, but I have a pasta box. So I thought we would recreate it with different papers because I had used up a pad on this one with different papers, and we will recreate it as close as possible. Of course, it won't have mushrooms in it as this one has, but we will use what we've got, and you can follow along if you like it. It would be a great simple first journal to make with whatever you have. So we'll start off making the cover. So please join me. So we've got the pasta box, and I've chosen this one because it's already got a bit of a opening here. So we'll just cut it down to size. This one, no, I'll just go and get my ruler. That would be really helpful. Okay, I didn't find my ruler, but I found a ruler. This one here is 21 centimeters down by 11 centimeters across. So we will try, this one here is not going to be that big actually. This one will only be 17 centimeters down, but we can actually cut it down a little bit to make it about 11 centimeters. So we will do that. So we'll just start off by cutting off the one side of the edge. And then we can open it up. We might actually just keep it. I think we'll keep it that width so that we've got a decent amount on each side there. So you can use whatever you've got. If you've got a tissue box, that would be great because it's already got the hole in it. So that would work out really well. Yeah, just seeing where that's going to cut. I'm not sure. I don't normally use this cutter. It's one I picked up from the op shop. Okay, might not be the greatest, but you just work with what you've got. So we cut that end off. We're going to cut this end off over here. So this is going to end up being more a short, stubby one, I think. Okay, definitely works better on one thing, and then we'll cut this bit off as well. So if you've got a pasta box, I mean, it doesn't matter if it hasn't even got a hole in it because you can just cut one out. So I am going to just remove this, and I may reuse that depending how it looks. No, it might have too much paper attached to it. So if you've just got like some plastic packaging that you could use, yeah, we will just measure that and just turn that. Okay, this one's got a lovely oval. This one won't. So I'm just going to take this, I think, up to, I don't want it too big. I'll take it up to 4. You make yours as big as you like, and I will take this one, I think, down to 10 on there. We'll do the same on this side. So that was 4 down to 10, just so we get all those bumpy bits off it. And then we'll just measure that across there. And across there. And we'll just cut that out. You just grab your scissors. I hope I've got that straight. It's looking a bit crooked, but I think it's just because it's got the wavy lines on it opening. So you don't need anything special if you're just starting out. Just grab what you've got, you know, just any cereal box or whatever. You can cut it down to size to make it work. So now we have got our opening here. We need to cover it. So you just want to choose your papers that you're going to use. I've actually got this paper pack here. It's 220 GSM, which I will use for it. It's just single-sided there, and a couple of double-sided ones that I will use inside the journal. So it's just choosing what you want to go on it. I think I'm going to keep it fairly simple for the cover. I've got that one. That one that could be used inside for journaling cards. That one that I want to keep for the inside. Got that one. That one. It was sort of the closest I could find to papers, except they don't have mushrooms on them, to what I had used. Oh, I actually like that. I might keep that for the inside of it. And then we have that one. So I might keep that one aside as an inside, for the inside of the journal. What do I want to go with on the outside? I just think I want to keep it quite plain on the outside. Maybe that, no. For one side. Now, if you don't have paper packs, you've got a calendar. You can use a calendar. I'm just going to put this on one side here. So I think I might just glue that down. Yes, so I've got a tiny bit of sandpaper here, and I'm just going to sand the top of that just to rough it up because it's shiny, and it will just help the glue to stick a bit better. Now, if you can hear noise in the background, I've actually got the dishwasher going because I'm in my dining room, and I like to have the dishwasher going when the sun's out because we're using solar then. So we'll just glue that. Pretty, you know, simple. If you don't have glue, you could use double-sided tape. That would probably work. I don't want to glue on that, so I'm just going to glue that one. Just leave a little gap around the edge so that you can turn it in just to make it tidy. So we'll just put that there. I'm going to fold that over there, and I am just going to, I will actually cut that one even because I'm going to put a different strip on there. So I'll cut that with the spine. That way it can hopefully still end okay. Probably could have left a bit more on that, but anyway, there we go. not perfect. So, and also what I'm going to do is just stab that in the middle. And just take that out over to that corner. Take it over to that corner. Into that corner. Into there. And just sort of fold it. Just fold it back. And we're just going to cut. That doesn't need to be perfect. You're not going to see it since it's on the inside. But we'll just remove the excess. And we will glue that bit down. Once again, you could use double-sided tape for it if that's all you've got, or you could just sellotape it as well. Just sellotape it down. I haven't got any glue on that one, so it's not going to stick. There we go. That's our little window so far. Just like to. This is actually quite thick. This paper I'm using is quite thick, which is good because then it makes the cover a bit stronger. So you could use a nice calendar if you've got an old calendar with lovely pictures on it that you like. Oh, that is a bit short, that one. Never mind. You could use that. They're generally quite thick. So you don't necessarily have to have scrapbook paper. You can just use whatever you have. Just put that there. Maybe you'd like to just try your first journal with just scrap paper before you give it a go with scrap paper or digitals. Oh dear, that glue is not being my friend today. The glue I'm using is actually a tacky, it's an acid-free glue. I think it's a tacky glue. Generally it grips really fast and then you can't move anything, so I'm not sure why it's not sticking today. We got there in the end. There we go. So that so far is the front. I think for the back I am going to use that one. We will just stick that down there. Put that one down. And we'll do the same with the corners that we did in the front page. Okay, I might actually just trim that a tiny bit. I probably should have done that on that side. I'll just trim it a tiny bit so it doesn't interfere. Just make sure that's sticking. That way, and okay, that's either way for that. Just make sure to put a bit extra glue on there. Oh, look at that, that's coming undone too. I'm just going to go grab another glue. I've got some of this aqua monoliquid glue. I'm just, because it's got that little bit there, I'm just going to squeeze some of that glue underneath and hope that holds it. Because you don't want your journal falling apart when you've put all that effort into making it. Anyway, while that's all attempting to dry, okay, we need to just put a strip in the middle, but I'm just going to leave that one for now. And we'll just work on this. So I've got a bit of packaging here, plastic packaging, that's all you need to use, or if you haven't got any, maybe just like a snap lock bag or something, just cut the plastic to fit. I think that should do it. Okay, so that will just go over there, and I'm going to double tape that down. Just got some skinny stuff here. I'm not going to use a sewing machine, even though it's so tempting, but I'd like to do this so that people that don't have sewing machines can you know, make their journal and not feel that they need to have a sewing machine to do it. So just do that and then lift that up. And I could actually cut that down a little bit. Yeah. Just attach that to there. Okay, so now we have got our window on there. If you've got ink and you want to ink around it, you can. I probably should have inked it before I put it on, but anyway, I'll give it a little bit of ink just around the edges on there too. Just a little bit of colour there. Okay, that's still wettish, but it seems to be holding. So far we've got that far on it. Now I am going to cover, in fact, I would have been wiser to have cut out my hole, done this bit before I covered the hole. Maybe I could just pull that off. I'm just going to pull that off for now. And I'll just re-glue it, re-put it on anyway. See? Yeah. And I'm going to put this under here and just draw around there. Okay. And that is going to be a hole. So you want to cut just above where you've drawn your line. Put a bit of ink around it. Actually, not even going to see it, so you don't really need to ink it, because it's going to be on the inside and then that will get covered again. Okay, so we have got our bit to go in the front here. So that's what you will see on that side. Or I could turn it around and do it that way. And then you see that on that side. I might actually do it that way. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is just find the middle. Oh, this is where this bit is. So I want to sort of find the middle. If I put that there, off here, I'm just going to mark that. And you can either just cut it out with a scissor. I'm going to put it in my envelope punch and just punch out that. And there we go. And that is going to go onto there. So we'll just make sure that is still going to, I might actually bring it right to there. That should still fold. Yep. It'll still fold. Just put some glue around the edges. Yeah, I'll just, because I don't want it squishing out. Make sure we get it right on there. There we go. And we'll put that on. Yeah. My cover's slightly out, but that's okay. Just adds to it. So now, and that's our pocket there. And we'll just cover this little patch up with some leftover. You could put, no, that one's not big enough. So just hold on to all your leftovers, all your cut-offs that you do, because we will be using them. I think I might actually put that one there. So I will just go and cut that bit off. Just go on the edge. And we'll glue that down. Okay. And there we have it. Well, not quite finished. We need to put some material down here. So if you if you have you could just use an old pillowcase that you could cut up. So we just want to cover those edges. Which is what we will do. We don't want the glue shining or coming through, so we'll just spread that out so it sort of starts to dry just a little bit. Just put it on there. It's probably best to let that dry before I fold it. And do the same with this one. That way you don't see those edges. Can't actually see that book page much anymore. Anyway, we'll just that off as well. Just pull out some of those threads that are hanging around. Add more glue where it's needed. There we go. So we have got that done so far. Hear that. There we go. Open it up, and there's our pocket there. And we won't do the we won't embellish it or do the corners in that until we've actually gone through and put the papers, sorted out our papers and that, because I just used all the little scraps for it. And well, I'm not going to put a mushroom on, of course, but yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that, and when we get the book pages ready to put in, or the papers that we're going to use to put in. So thank you so much for being here with me. Until next time, bye for now.